you in your different time zone and your different areas around the world and across the country. It's Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London town, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Over there, and they're getting ready to start the weekend. As a matter of fact, over there in Japan, they're having breakfast, bacon and eggs, flapjacks, the whole 9 yards, and they're watching us right now. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We're here coming to you live from New York City as we every day. We always do this every Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, the purpose of the show is to get everybody involved in it because it's your show. It's a show of free exchange, and we talk. What we do is I'll throw out a conversation, a piece of something, and then later on you can chime in, and all you have to do is just type it in right there. I'll see you right there on the big screen, and we'll acknowledge you. We'll entertain your thoughts, your suggestions, and ideas, and have a lot of fun, because that's what the show is all about, is having a whole lot of fun. And we're going to be here, like I said, for a whole hour. So we want you to sit back, relax, because we're coming to you in three sources, three dimension. We can put it that way as well. We're coming to you live from Facebook, from YouTube, and all of my friends are watching us right now on Instagram. So we're coming to you all of those three sources. And if you can't catch us on one, you could always catch us on the other, no matter where you are. And we're all around the world. We're global, so you can't escape us. So there you go. And we're letting you know that too, while we're broadcasting, you could also chime in on over there, right there. As I watch you over there on Instagram, you can chime in too. All you have to do is just say hi. If you're just an idle person and you just want to watch the show and not say anything, that's okay too. But we would really love to hear from you either way. Now, we're coming to you in different time zones. As I said, you could be at work right now. You could be home relaxing. You could be doing anything. You could be on a coffee break right now, for all I know. It's different time zones. But either way, we're glad to have you aboard with us. Now, later on in the program, Brian Kent will be here, not too far away, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. His part of the show called Sports Update. He'll come to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina via telephone, as he always do. And I'm pretty sure he'll have a lot to talk about later on, too. We're going to give you our picks of the week for the weekend, all of those classic movies that you like from Turner Classic Movies. All right, we have a couple of those for you. And we're also going to talk about this day in history. We have all that information, and it's you, me, and all of us. We're all going to conquer the world tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So what do you say we get the show underway as we always do? I want to give you that big hearty hand clap. That goes out to each and every one of you guys out there. That big hearty hand clap, because it's dedicated to you, because you are so diligent, so loyal, so dedicated of joining us each week. And we want to remind you, by the way, if you're watching us on one of those three sources, please tell your friends. If you're watching us on Facebook, please tag them right now. Tag your friends right now. Let them know that we're on the air. Get them in here and let them be part of us as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. And when you do that, what will happen is that every time we go on the air live, or if we happen to post some kind of pre-recorded video or anything like that, you will be notified, and it will be a reminder to you, and you can just jump right in on us. Now, if you're watching us on Instagram, you're watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is subscribe to Instagram. Not subscribe, but you can follow us on Instagram. And we would love to have you. So anyway, as we do that hand clap, we do it for you. We also do it for all of the people who are working in hospitals, all of the hospital workers, the doctors, the nurses, all other hospital personnel, everything from the doctors all the way down to the surgeons, all the way down to people in medical records, all of those people, because you were with us all of this time during the pandemic, which, by the way, is still on. We'll tell you more about that. And of course, we want to thank our loyal and dedicated first responders, the firefighters, police officers, all of those guys, all of you people who have mom and pop stores. There are very few of them, but whatever's left, we thank you for that, for staying open all of this time. All the bars, the restaurants, all of the laundromats and grocery stores and supermarkets, all of you guys stayed open through this whole time. You did it in a safe manner. People are still walking around wearing their mask and using hand sanitizer and doing all the things that they're supposed to be doing to protect themselves. And so, with that in mind, we tell you, or we ask you, or we promote to you the idea of getting vaccinated. All right, that's very important to us. It should be to you. And a lot of people have been vaccinated. You have 3 vaccines on the market right now, which, of course, you already know about it. You have the J&J, which is the Johnson and Johnson. You have the Moderna, and you have the Pfizer. Good news on the front that now Moderna is getting the okay. They have gotten the green light where now they can do the boosters. They weren't able to do it before. They could do the boosters for people 65 and over and people who are medically needed, who really need it. If they're in dire, they need it for their medical reasons. It's available right now. Okay, that's the word I've gotten. And I'm not sure if it's actually final yet, but if they're saying so on the news, so it's got to be genuine. And also, you already know that you can get your boosters if you are taking Pfizer. Don't mix your drinks. Now, if you had J&J in the beginning and you take a booster shot, I'm not sure that there's a booster shot available for J&J, not just yet. But when that happens, you're going to want to take J&J if you had it previously for your full vaccination. If you have Moderna, you're going to want to take Moderna. If you had Pfizer, you're going to want to take Pfizer. That's the rule. That's it. Well, it should be. It's not a rule, but it should be that way. All right. You want to make sure you be on the safe side and make sure you get exactly what you had before. So therefore, when you take all of those vaccines, it helps us. A lot of people are not on the fence. They're still on the fence about it. Some people are definitely not going to take it, because of religious reasons or medical reasons or whatever the reason. Some for most for political reasons, and they're not going to take it. But we just promote it out here anyway. You may not want to hear it, but this is what we're going to do on our show. We promote the idea of people getting vaccinated. Now, a lot of people out there right now saying, well, you know something, I am not going to get vaccinated. Why should I? It's not going to help. It only hurts. But I'm here to tell you, and I can vouch for a lot of people who have been vaccinated already, that it is safe and it helps out a lot, especially if you have children. You're sending your children to school, they're going to go to school, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that the teachers are vaccinated. That's the thing that we're working on right now, getting all the teachers vaccinated. People who work in hospitals should be vaccinated. And it makes more sense because you're working, why not be vaccinated if you're going to work in the hospitals, because you're taking care of people. And for the most part, there are people in the hospitals that are suffering from coronavirus. And you want to make sure that you do your part by getting vaccinated, getting healthy, staying healthy for people who are you helping to get healthy if they're not healthy yet. So we don't want you to wait to get to the point where I should have, I could have, would have, should have. We don't want you to get to that point. I mean, you've seen it on the news many times. The last thing that some people would say is that, I'm sorry I didn't get vaccinated, but now it's too late. We don't want anyone to get to that point. We want you to, while it's available to you, and it is available to you, 65 and over right now for boosters for people, but for the people who initially did not get vaccinated yet, it's available to you. And most importantly, it's free. You don't have to pay a dime out of your pocket. Now, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you could always go and get tested if you work in one of those essential jobs where they mandate and say it's a requirement that you get vaccinated, or you take the test every week. I wouldn't want to take that test every week. I really wouldn't. But it's a choice that people have to make. I'm sorry it came down to this, but we have to protect our own. And when I say our own, I'm talking about you, me, and everyone around the world. We have to protect ourselves. And so, please, I say that out of love. and I don't demand it. A lot of people say you're wasting your breath talking about it. I don't think I am, but if that's the way you feel, I'm not a pushy guy on that front saying, "Oh no, you have to take it. You should take." I'm just laying out the groundwork. I'm just laying out what the facts and um, what's been going on. And if you do not decide to take it, well, there you go. That's your decision, and you have a right to that decision. And maybe who knows, maybe you'll come around like a lot of people have come around. A lot of people in the beginning initially said, I will not take that vaccination. For whatever reason, they did not take it. And then later on, they came around. So I keep my fingers crossed for all of you, for every one of you out there who are watching, who are under the sound of my voice right now. I keep my fingers crossed for everyone. I want everyone safe and healthy. You go back to your jobs, you go back to school, and we want to make things the way it were before. We want to get to the point where we don't have to wear masks anymore. We want to get to the point where, of course, I mean, you've always used hand sanitizer. You have to wash your hands daily anyway, so that's like normal. That's like brushing your teeth. But we don't want to get to the point where we have to wear a mask and stay a distance from people. We want to get back where we want to hug people again and love people again. That's what I want to see. So there you go. That's my point out to you. So if you're just joining us right now, it's 11 minutes past the hour right now. I can't believe it. 11 minutes past the hour. And in case you're just chiming in the middle of all of this, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We meet here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. But if you're in another time zone, obviously, let's say, for instance, if you're on the West Coast, it's after 5 o'clock right now in the afternoon. And you're watching us there. And if you're in China, of course, it's morning there or coming up. It's like afternoon, I think. It's like maybe around somewhere close to the afternoon hours. I'm not really sure just yet. But in Tokyo, Japan, it's kind of like the overnight period over there. So it's like after 1 o'clock in the morning over there. But those of you who are, no, in Tokyo, Japan, it's morning. It's like after 9 o'clock. But let's say if you're in London right now, it's like over the overnight hours. And people are still up in London, some people. So if you happen to be in London right now and you're up, we thank you for being with us. Now, if you can't spend the whole hour with us, whatever time you could spend with us, we really appreciate it. And as I said before, those of you who are just sitting there idle and you don't want to say anything, that's okay too. We want to make sure that you're comfortable and enjoying the show, but we really would like your input, and you could say hi to us and just do that. That'd be great. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us once again on Talk Back Live. We've got so much to talk about it. You're about a couple of minutes away from Brian Camp, who will be calling in right now. He'll be calling in from Charlotte, North Carolina, where the weather is always fine. That's called the Queen City. And he'll be with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Now, a little bit of news, and I'm pretty sure you heard about it. If you're a news buff like I am, I love the news. And sometimes I just refrain away from getting away from the news because sometimes it gets so depressing and so aggravating that I like put it away for a couple of days. But I'm pretty sure I was watching the news today. Pretty sure you heard right now that a certain person are asking the Republicans not to vote in the 2020 election and the 2024 election, not to vote until this situation is cleared up where they will recognize the fact that I did not lose that election. A certain person said that. And they're asking the Republicans not to vote until that's cleared up, which, by the way, that's not going to happen. All right. So, and so that being said, I would like to say to Republicans, I love you so much, Republicans. I love you just like I love the Democrats and the independents. I love them all because we are the people who make this country. All of us, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, whether you're liberal, whether you're conservative, we're all under one umbrella. We should be. Some people don't see it that way, but we really should be. And I say that your chances of you want to get back the House, you want to get back the Senate, the Republicans want to do that. as well as the Democrats. They want to keep the House. They want to keep the Senate. And you're going to have to vote. You're going to have to vote. It's not going to help your cause if you don't vote. So if you don't vote on the 2020 election, Republicans, or the 2024 elections, then it's not going to help your cause. So while one person is saying don't vote, I say to everyone, get out and vote, because that's your privilege anyway. That's your right to do that, and that's what we were fighting for all of our lives, so everyone could get the votes and get their votes in and be citizens and get back to America again. Get right back to America the way it was, where either the Republicans and the Democrats, even though they go at odds, they're butting heads, but at the end of the day, it's not about Republicans, Democrats, or independents, or anyone like that. It's about the U.S. of A. As Archie Bunker would say, the U.S. of A. That's what that's all about. Okay, we're going to talk more later on in the program about a lot of things. As I said, we've got the movies that we'll talk about, and then we've got another thing coming up this day in history. All of that's coming up. But right now, we're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina via telephone. And as usual, Brian Camp is here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Brian, how's it going out in the Queen City? Is it any better with the weather?
Weather's good. That's not the problem. It's just I'm a little nervous right now.
Oh.
I'm scared. It's Game 5 of the Dodgers and Giants. So I'm on my little P's and Q's here. Yeah. If my team loses, if you feel an earthquake from Charlotte all the way into New York, then it's probably me. But good evening to you. Good evening to everybody. Good evening to Facebook land and to YouTube and wherever else you're listening to. It is 73 degrees out here in the Queen City in Charlotte. Very clear skies. So let me get right to the sports. In the NFL, as you know by now, it's been all over social media. It's been all over sports. It's been all over news. Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden has resigned following reports over 650,000 emails he wrote over a 10-year period, including racist, sexist, and this I'm trying to say this right, misogynist and anti-gay language. Gruden made a racist comment about the NFL Players Association Executive Director Doris Smith, as well as a vulgar criticism of the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Now, you can't say everything, but he had said something about Doris. Well, his name is DeMaurice Smith. He was at that time the executive director, and he made some racial comments saying that his lips are shaped like the Michelin tires. I mean, that's just some of the things that he has said. Gruden emailed former Washington football president at that time, Bruce Allen, and others not to draft queers, referring to Michael Sam, who's the first NFL open gay player in the 2014 draft. So Gruden was telling all the owners, telling a lot of people not to draft him. Gruden also made some sexist statement, as I say, to various women and over those in years in the emails. So he is out. We don't have time for this. It's not in the place not only in the NFL, but in all sports or anywhere period on this planet. This country still has a long way to go. Many people think that the Civil War is still going on. The Civil War ended back in 1865, and this is where we are now. It's really a sad time. And, I get tired of Democrats and Republicans blaming, pointing the finger at one another. That's why I'm not loyal to no political party. I don't like talking politics. This is why I've lost a lot of friends. We spoke about this before. So this is where we are in the year 2021. And that guy who's the last president is telling people not to vote. unbelievable.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I was going to cut you off and say, yeah, I know this is not sports related, but I mentioned that earlier. So you did hear about that too.
Yes,
It's not going to
yes,
help.
it did.
It's not going to help.
No, it's not. It's not going to help. But we're in a time of a pandemic. You know, the only time I found this country joined together was 9/11. I hate to say this. At 9/11, when the Twin Towers fell, that's when everybody just chipped in, and Republicans and Democrats decided that they have to work together for the betterment of our country. But this is where we at. The NFL selected cities of Dusseldorf, Frankfurt, and Munich on Tuesday to enter a final bidding stage to host a regular season game in Germany. Germany has a strong and growing NFL fan base and one of the world's largest economics, making the country a logical target for a league with vision of worldwide growth. So there you go. Football is very popular out in Europe, and the NFL decided they want to choose Germany. They got one of the largest economies, and like I just mentioned, and they are they're going to pick one of those cities in Germany for either the 2022 or 2023 season. Here's some news in Major League Baseball that will catch your eye. Former New York Yankee star Joe Pepitone has dropped his lawsuit against Baseball Hall of Fame that sought the return of a Louisville slugger bat that Mickey Mantle used to hit his 500 career home run. Now, David M. Barchet, a lawyer for Pepitone, filed a notice of voluntary dismissal on Monday in U.S. District Court in Albany. The Hall of Fame has filed a motion demonstrating that the lawsuit was without merit. Now, Pepitone has filed the suit in July seeking compensatory damages of at least $1 million. The bat is currently valued at over $500,000, he claimed. The suit alleged Pepitone agreed to lend the bat to the Hall of Fame with the understanding and upon the condition that it would be returned to him at any time upon his request. Now, the Hall of Fame said that the bat was donated and that it has owned it for more than 50 years. Now, this is what happened. Mickey Mantle, former Yankee great, Hall of Famer, hit his 500 home run on May 14, 1967. Now, the lawsuit claimed Mantle wanted to use a lighter bat than his signature model in order to generate bat speed, and Pepitone, obliged to him, gave him one of his bats after going deep against Stu Miller the previous inning. So really, Joe Pepitone had given him the bat. Apparently, it was Joe Pepitone, and I think that's where the mix-up and all the problems occur. In the NBA, Brooklyn Nets general manager Sean Marks said Tuesday that Kyrie Irving's decision to comply with New York City COVID-19 vaccine mandate left the organization no choice but to send him away from the team. So the Nets had sent him away until he's able to fully participate, which means until he's fully vaccinated or just one dose of it. Now, Brooklyn Nets point guard Kyrie Irving still remains not taking the vaccination shot and is still doing research on the vaccine. Now, he stands to lose $380,000 a home game, which is 41 games, and not counting playoff games. Now, I said that last week. It's really 43 games because the city of New York and San Francisco, and now Los Angeles has joined, they have these mandated rules and regulations about the vaccine. You have to wear a mask and you have to be vaccinated in order to participate. So, Kyrie Irving said today, or late last night, he said that he's not anti for the vaccine, nor is he for it. So he's still doing research, but he still stands to lose a lot of money with a lot of people actually supporting him and have his back on this. So that's where we stand with him. League Commissioner Gary Bettman said the league has only 4 unvaccinated players as it opens up its regular season, the 2021-22 season. Bettman goes on to say everybody banded together to do the right thing, and maybe that's why hockey is the ultimate team sport. Between said National Hockey League officials and all the personnel who come into in contact with players are vaccinated. There are still COVID-19 cases involving players who are fully vaccinated. So you got people that's fully vaccinated, but they still get the virus, but they are allowed to play because they are vaccinated. So that's why it's okay for them to play. This day, October 14th, 1862, baseballer James Creighton ruptures his bladder by hitting a home run. He died 4 days later on October 18th. 1908, upset over seating arrangement at a World Series. Sports reporters formed a professional group called Baseball Writers Association of America. 1908, the same year, baseball World Series Chicago Cubs beat the Detroit Tigers 2-0 to clinch the series with the smallest crowd in World Series history, only 6,210 fans that attended that World Series. 1909, Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Detroit Tigers 5-4. It forces the first full game of a 7-game series. So that's the original. That's the format as we have it today, the best out of 7, and that's the first time that they had went in 1909 went to a full 7 game. 1970, and we're gonna leapfrog from 1909 to 1970. Cleveland Cavaliers lose to the Buffalo Braves in their first game, 107-92. 1973, Willie Mays, 42-year-old future Hall of Famer, gets his last hit as a New York Met in Game 2 of the World Series in Oakland. 1978. Some of you Yankee fans may remember this. New York Yankee Reggie Jackson causes World Series controversy by getting in the way of a thrown ball to first base. That's the one where he stuck his hip out. In 2003, Steve Bartman. Remember Steve Bartman? Steve Bartman was the guy that was run out of town in Chicago for interfering with a ball that was was about to be caught by Maurice Alou when the Cubs was playing the Miami Marlins. So he stuck his glove out to catch it. It was reachable for the player to catch it, but it was a turning point as the Cubs lose to the Miami Marlins 8-3 in the National Championship Series, and that's where Bartman was run out of town. He had to have security because you got to understand it was back then in 2003. The Cubs did not win a World Series in over close to 100 years at that point, and you can understand why Chicago Cubs fans were furious. Where's he at today? We don't know, but we hope that he's safe. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Boy, a lot going on in sports. I'm glad it's back, and I just wanted to stay here. That's why I urge everyone to, all players and the players in sports, whether it's basketball, baseball, or whatever, should set the example about the getting vaccinated. But I want to see sports go on and on. I want to see all of the players stay healthy. So what about those? What's the status now on the Dodgers and the Giants? Are they playing right now?
First pitch is at 9:07. They have the pregame show. So this is Game 5. The winner goes on to play against the Atlanta Braves, and the Giants and the Dodgers. This is a heated rivalry. They go back to the days when they were both playing in New York.
Yeah,
they're like the Yankees and Red Sox. The Yankees and Red Sox are two teams that do not really like one another. They also are a big rivalry.
Yeah.
And but this Giants and Dodgers rivalry is really, really going to be fierce. And this is the last game, Game 5. The winner goes on to the next series.
And they're both former New York teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can't we all get along?
one played in the Polo Ground,
Yeah.
and the other one played in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Brooklyn, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh boy, can't we all get along? Well, listen, I'm gonna root for you because my team had a chance and they didn't make it there, so I'm gonna root for your Giants. I'm gonna root for your
Thank you. I
Giants.
appreciate that.
I hope
And everybody out there that's listening and watching, make sure you root for the San Francisco Giants. That's my team.
I kind of lost track when the Yankees lost that final game. That when the other team said, "Okay, you can go home now." I kind of like lost track. I didn't watch, but I'm just waiting around for the World Series and waiting around to see who's going to wind up there. The playoffs are still going on, but I'll root for your Giants. I'll root for your Giants. When was the last time the Giants were in the World Series? I don't remember.
2014. They won it in 2010, 2012, and 2014. Mm-hmm. And before they won it in 2010, they had not won it since 1954.
Yeah.
So from 1954 to 2010, I wasn't born in 1954, but I didn't think I was going to see a championship during that time. But I was able to see it, and 3 of them, and we have a team here that has a shot at it. So let's go Giants,
Okay, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Keep my fingers crossed.
Thank you.
I'm not a Giant fan, but you're my brother, and I root for you.
Thank you.
I got you.
I love you with all my heart. Thank you.
I love you too. Okay, we're gonna catch you back here tomorrow on the coffee hour, right?
All right, see you then.
All right, take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Camp. Of course, he's here each week at this time with the latest developments in today's world of sports or sports update. And of course, as you heard, he gave you what's going on in the world of sports for this week. He'll be back tomorrow on the coffee hour, doing his part of the 2020 feature with more sports, and part 2 of the 2020 feature. He's 20 after the hour. Part 2 of the 2020 feature is with DJ Pete, who will not be here tomorrow, but he left me information, so I'll be filling in for him. His part of the 2020 feature, which is 20 to the hour, and that's on the coffee hour. We'll tell you more about that before the show is over. But right now, I want to thank you guys for being here. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we're here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern with great entertainment. And, of course, we talk to you. A lot of you people will sit back and relax and just stand idle. And those of you who will say hi, we would love to hear from you. So I just want to say hi, all you guys at Facebook, you guys there on YouTube, and you guys over there at Instagram as well. Thank you for being along with us. If you have a particular topic, you want to talk more about sports or talk about what we were talking about the voting of 2020 and 2024, you can do that. All you have to do is jump right in there. So thank you so much for being along with us. And, I'm set. I am set for the winter. How about you? I mean, I'm not really set for the winter because I don't like the winter. But I was just thinking the other day, the weather's trying to get a little nippy. I think it's going to warm up here in New York a little bit over the weekend. We're going to get some rain for Saturday, and which I was just hoping that they would come down. It wouldn't come down to that. But then who knows? By the time Saturday gets here, it may be a revision in the weather forecast. Who knows? Anyway, we're here together, and let's get started with On This Day in History. Because on this day in history, in 1899, Morning Post reporter Winston Churchill departs for South Africa. On this day in history, in 1930, George and Ira Gershwin's musical Crazy Girl, starring Ginger Rogers and Ethel Merman, premieres in New York City. On this day in history, in 1933, Nazi Germany announces its withdrawal from the League of Nations. On this day in history, in 1934, the Lux Radio Theater premieres. On this day in history, in 1939, BMI, which stands for Broadcast Music Incorporated, that formed back in that day, in 1939. On this day in history, in 1953, WTEN, Channel 10, TEN, that's appropriate. Channel 10 TV in Albany, New York, an ABC station, begins broadcasting. Back in 1957, the Everly Brothers single Wake Up Little Susie reaches #1. On this day in history in 1957, Queen Elizabeth II becomes the first Canadian monarch to open the Parliament of Canada with a speech from the throne. Back in 1960, Peace Corps first suggested by John F. Kennedy in the speech at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. On this day in history in 1961, the musical How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying at the 46th Street Theater in New York City, it opened after they opened for 1,415 performances. That's a lot of performances. And also, the movie was great. I love the movie. On this day in history in 1964, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the winner for the Nobel Peace Prize. And that same year, Philips began experimenting with color TV. On this day in history in 1968, the Beatles' White Album was completed. In 1970, the fourth Country Music Association Award went over to Merle Haggard. On this day in history in 1975, U.S. President Gerald Ford escapes injury when his limousine is struck broadside. On this day in history in 1977, Linda Ronstadt sings the national anthem prior to the World Series Game 3 at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. On this day in history in 1977, the rock group Kiss released their second live album called Alive 2. On this day in history in 1979, NBC premieres their premiere of the U.S. TV. Let's see, let me read that back again. I kind of lost space there. NBC premiered of U.S. TV of Helen Keller's life story, The Miracle Worker, that premiered there. In 1982, U.S. President Ronald Reagan proclaims war on drugs, and that's part of that with his wife, Nancy, did that. Nancy, by the way, was an actress as well. She was Nancy Davis. Anyway, on this day, Dwight D. Eisenhower was born on this day in 1890 in Denison, Texas. He passed away March 28, 1969 at the age of 78 from congestive heart failure. Roger Moore was born on this day. Actor Roger Moore was born on this day in 1927 in London, England, in the UK. And he passed away May 23rd, 2017 at the age of 89. And of course, fashion designer Ralph Lauren was born on this day in 1939 here in New York City. He's 81 today, so happy birthday. British singer Cliff Richard was born on this day in 1940 in Lucknow, India. And of course, he's 80 years old today. George Floyd, remember George Floyd, of course, we remember him. He was born on this day in 1973 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Of course, he died a year ago, May 25th, 2020, at the age of 46, died so young, and we miss him. And we're never gonna let that memory leave, no matter what anyone says. Singer Madeline Maines of the Chicks, which was formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, was born on this day in 1974 in Lubbock, Texas. And she's 46 today, so happy birthday to one of the Chicks. R&B singer Usher was born on this day in 1978 in Dallas, Texas. He's 42 today. Happy birthday, Usher. On this day in history, in 1957, actor Marlon Brando marries actress Anne Cashby. In 1964, the Rolling Stones drummer, he just died recently, the late Charlie Watts weds Shirley Shepard. In 1989, novelist Sidney Shelton weds Alexandra Shelton. And they were married in Las Vegas, Nevada. And in 1995, actress Meg Tilly, who's the older sister of Jennifer Tilly, who's also an actress, who plays in those horror movies with Chucky, right? All of those Chucky movies. Anyway, Meg Tilly weds United Artists Studio president John Calley in Los Angeles, California. Bing Crosby passed away on this day in 1977 at the age of 74. His cause of death was a heart attack. He was born May 3rd, 1903 in Tacoma, Washington. Novelist Harold Robbins passed away on this day in history in 1997 at the age of 81. He was born May 21st, 1960 in New York City. And let's see, on this day, the year 2006, country singer Freddie Fender passed away of lung cancer. He was 69. And 2009, pro wrestler Captain Lou Albano, passed away of a heart attack at the age of 76. And that's this day in history. Now, if you know of anything that's going on in history that I didn't, and you know something about it, of course, you're always welcome to chime in and let us know, and we'll, of course, cover it for you. And that will be it. Anyway, you're just watching in, you're just coming in. Well, thank you for coming in. I want to say hello to all of our people who are watching us on Facebook, all of you people there on YouTube, all of you people there on Instagram. And thank you guys for being along with us. We come to you each week at this time on Thursday, every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're always here live. So if you don't catch us on one of those places we just talked about, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Instagram, if you don't catch us on one, you can always catch us on the other. That's why we try to expand the broadcast to everybody. And we're all around the world, all over the world. So you might want to tell your friends about it. As a matter of fact, if you're watching us on Facebook right now, tag your friends. You can tag a friend right now. We only have a few minutes to go on this show, but you can tag a friend right now so they can become part of the show, catch what's left of the show. They may not know about it, but if you'd be nice enough to do that, we really would appreciate it. Tag them. They'll tune in and they'll become part of us. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all you have to do. Subscribe to that. And once you do that, what will happen is that every time we come on live or anytime we post a video, a pre-recorded video or anything like that, you will be notified and you'll never miss a show. And if you happen to be watching us, and I hope you are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram. It's right there. It's very easy. A lot of people out there watching. A lot of young people on Instagram, too. We want to get everybody in. This show is just not, it's for everyone. That's why we try to keep it a clean show, a family show, so anyone can watch it. So there you go. But I think you have to be 18 to actually, of course, if you're younger and you don't have an account with, let's say, Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, if you don't have an account, maybe your parents do. You can still watch the show. You're a little tiny kid. You can still watch the show. It's a fun, clean show, and we do this each week. So thank you, guys, for being along with us. And all around the world, again, we're here for you. Now, if you have anything to talk about, if you want to get in touch with us by any means, you can get in touch with me personally. All you have to do is apply yourself. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, you look up there. It's either up here, over there, over here, down here. Depending on how you're watching this show, it could be, the information could be anywhere. Anyway, you'll see that the information I have, my email address and my telephone number, it's all right there. Now, if you have anything, any comments, suggestions, ideas, you want to suggest something about the show, you have any ideas about the show, you can get in touch with me. And it's just as simple as that. My email address is right there. Telephone number is right there. And all you have to do is you email us, let us know. If you call us, leave a message. And we will certainly acknowledge you, take your thoughts and suggestions and ideas. We will certainly do that for you. Now, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, of course, it's not posted up there. So what I will do right now is I will give you orally the email address and the telephone number. Let's start with the email address. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. That's Frank Allan, Allan. As a lot of people like to put EN. If you put EN, you'll never get there. It's Frank Allan Prod, Prod, Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Again, that's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Well, if you prefer the call, the telephone number is 641 715 3900, extension 467134. Again, that number is 641 715 3900, extension 467134. And you can call anytime, day or night, and leave a message, and we'll certainly acknowledge you. Just let us know what you want, and we'll try our best to do it. And of course, if you're going to email us, that would be great too. Either one of those would be great. So that's for all of you who are watching wherever you are. And we really would appreciate that. Okay, you know those classic movies we were telling you about? We have them. We have a lot of classic. We don't have a lot, but we have about, let's see, what do I have this week? I have 3 this week. And I think you're going to like, now these classic movies, if you're not doing anything over the weekend, of course, we urge you to entertain yourselves. Now, for instance, here in New York City, I understand we're going to get some rain on Saturday. Okay, now Saturday is the day that no one wants to be cooped up in the house. I understand that. Even Sunday for that matter. But if you have to stay home due to inclement weather, you want to be prepared. You want to entertain yourself. You want to get out a few snacks and things like that and enjoy a great movie. I like those classic movies, and for those of you who do like those classic movies too, I have 3 for you right now, and let's start it off right now. Citizen Kane. There's another classic. We had Citizen Kane on here before. We talked about it before, but it's coming on this week again. As a matter of fact, it's a 1940 movie with Orson Welles. It comes on Turner Classic Movies. It'll be on tomorrow night, Friday night, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. That's Citizen Kane. It's a lovely movie, 1941, Orson Welles, and I think you're going to like it. Here's another good one for you. It Happened in Brooklyn. Now, this goes back to 1947, starring Frank Sinatra, Peter Lawford, and Jimmy Durante, along with Katherine Grayson. And it's a nice little love comedy movie I think you'll like. It comes on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that this Sunday at 8:15 a.m. in the morning. So if you happen to be up that hour in the morning, you can have breakfast and watch it at the same time. But if not, you want to think about it, you might want to record it, DVR it, and watch it at another time. All of these movies, you can do that. You can DVR them, and watch it at another time. And that'll be great. Now, here's something that doesn't go back to the 1940s or 50s or anything like that, but it's a great movie, a great fun movie to watch. It's of the science fiction? I guess, I don't know, maybe you could put it in the science fiction category. This goes back to 1982, Poltergeist, starring Craig T. Nelson and Jo Beth Williams. That's coming on this Sunday on Turner Classic Movies at 8 p.m. That's all Eastern. That's Poltergeist. I like that movie. I think they did a remake on Poltergeist, which I never got to see, nor was I really interested, because you know how I am about remakes and cover records and things like that. I'm not really a big fan, although there are some covers that I like as well as the original ones. I can name you a few movies, but I won't get into that. But for the most part, as a rule, I'm not really too much into covers or remakes of movies, things like that. But I think, again, you like these movies. Now, if you don't like these movies, and I couldn't see why you wouldn't, there are other places to go. You can go to On Demand, and of course, you can, On Demand, they have all the networks on there in case you miss a program that came on. For instance, if you're a sports person, you could, depending on what channel you watch your sports, there's a network for that. You can go in and tune in and watch the reruns. I like wrestling, so if I miss a wrestling match on any particular night, I can always go back and watch it the following day, because when it's on live, it's posted on the network that it's on for reruns, so you could watch it on demand. Now, I'll give you another example. Just this past Tuesday, the premiere of Chucky. Remember Chucky, the old doll that killed people with the knife? And well, he has his own show now. He's gotten so popular. I mean, listen, the Chucky is so popular that you could actually buy one of those dolls I mean it. You could buy one of those. I researched it myself. You could actually buy one. You can get one from order one from Amazon, I think. But you could actually buy those dolls, and some of those dolls are expensive. They go up to like $1,000. So if you want to spend that much for a Chucky doll and entertain yourself, by all means. Anyway, that was on Tuesday. It started Tuesday, and I kind of like it was like after the wrestling match, and then after the wrestling match, I kind of fell asleep, so I kind of missed it. But I went back just the day after to watch it in full, so I didn't miss it. So that's the good thing about on demand. You could go back and check out what you missed. It's all there, and also you can also go on movie on demand. Movies on demand. You can check out there's a list of all of the movies. They have the classics. They have all kinds of movies that you forgot about. And if you go there and just go down the list, you might see something that you really like. I happen to know Saturday Night Fever is still up there. That's going to be up there until the beginning of the year. That and the follow-up of Saturday Night Fever. Remember Staying Alive? That's all there. And there are a lot of things there. So whatever you missed or whatever you think that may be up there, you can look at let's see, HBO is up there. You have Stars and all of those networks. And you can go back and you can be well entertained for a whole day, especially on Sunday, which sometimes people like to stay in bed all day on Sunday. So I call that the Stay in Bed Sunday. And you can sit back and watch all of those great movies. So again, I'm going to go back to the Turner Classic Movies of this week. These are my picks. I hope you like them. Citizen Kane with Orson Welles. That's Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You have It Happened in Brooklyn with Frank Sinatra, Peter Lawford, Jimmy Durante, and Katherine Grayson. That's on Sunday at 8:15 a.m. And Poltergeist with Craig T. Nelson and Joe Beth Williams. And that comes on Sunday at 8 p.m. And everything is Eastern. Everything is Eastern time. And so there you go. Everything is Eastern. And it's all on Turner Classic Movies. So there you go. You have all of those things to rely on. And it's all fun. It's all fun. Hey, in case you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned to Talk Back Live. Right now, we've got a few minutes left. We have about 8 minutes left before the show is over. And just in case you're just joining us, we're here for a whole hour each week, every Thursday, between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we get everybody involved in conversation here. And of course, if there's always something that you would like to say, you have a free hand, you have free speech. This is a free speech program. And you don't have to be shy about it. No one's going to kick you off of here. And we just have a lot of fun. We only ask that you be nice and keep things clean because, like I said, we couch the show as a family show. So we want everybody to enjoy it and have a good time. And so with that, I want to say once again, we talked earlier about, voting. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Republicans, no matter what they ask you to do, please vote the 2020. Please vote 2024. It doesn't help if you hold out your vote. It's not going to help. It's not going to help the country. It's not going to help you. Don't play follow the leader. I'm asking you this, for the sake of the country. Don't play follow the leader. Follow this. Follow this. Follow this. It's all you got. Don't let anyone take it away from you. And if it's cloudy, do whatever you can to clear it out. Have you heard about, I picked up on something just yesterday. Do you know that the Rolling Stones retired their 1971 hit song, Brown Sugar? Did you hear about that? They retired the song from their current tour. And at least for now anyway. And because it was a conflict surrounding the controversial lyrics that depicted slavery, rape, and drugs. Guitarist Keith Richards of the group confirmed to the LA Times yesterday. And here's his quote. When he was asked about it, he quoted, and I quote, he says, "You picked up on that, huh?" Okay. Now, Richards goes on to tell the Los Angeles Times after he was asked why the band has refrained from playing it. And he added that he doesn't understand the controversy. He doesn't understand the controversy. And so I quote him here again. He says, "I'm trying to figure out with the sisters quite where the beef is." And he goes on to say, and I'm quoting here, didn't they understand it was a song about horrors of slavery, but they're trying to bury it. At the moment, I don't want to go into conflicts with all of this, unquote. Well, that is something. That is something to talk about. Now, here's a song that was released. This song was released in 1971, and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards wrote the lyrics of this song, Brown Sugar. And here we are 50 years later, and they're just picking up on this. No one said anything about it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the lyrics to you, and you are going to judge for yourself. These are the lyrics. You heard the song many times, Brown Sugar, Rolling Stones. You heard this. It's a popular song. It was a very popular song. I love it myself. But here are the lyrics, and you decide for yourself and let me know. I'd like to get some response from it, whatever you say here. And even if you're a Mick Jagger and a Keith Richards fan, let me know what you think about it. Here are the lyrics. Gold Coast slave, ship bound for cotton fields. Sold in a market down in New Orleans. Scared old slaver knows he's doing all right. Hear him whip the woman just around midnight. All right, let me repeat that once again, fluently this time. Gold Coast slave, ship bound for cotton fields, sold in a market down in New Orleans. Scared old slave knows he's doing right. Hear him whip the woman or the women just around midnight. Brown sugar, how come you taste so good? Brown sugar like a young girl should. And it goes on and on. Drums beat cold. English blood runs hot. Lady of the house wondering where it's gonna stop. Houseboy knows that he's doing all right. You should heard him just around midnight. Brown sugar, how come you taste so good? Well, now, brown sugar, like a young girl should now. Ah, get along, brown sugar. How come you taste so good, baby? Ah, got me feel it now. Brown sugar, just like a black girl should. Just like a black girl should. I bet your mama was a tent show queen, and all your boyfriends were sweet 16. I'm no schoolboy, but I know what I like. You should have heard me just about midnight. Those are the lyrics of Brown Sugar. And so, as I said, they decided that they were going to cancel that performance and take that song out of their concerts. That doesn't mean that they're going to stop playing it on the radio. They're just not going to perform it, at least for a while anyway. Got to find out what's happening. And I'm pretty sure you can listen to it. It's right there on YouTube. You can listen to the copy of, if you're not aware of the song, which I don't understand why you wouldn't be, because it's a popular song back in 1971, 50 years ago when it was released, and composed by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. And you decide for yourself, what it's all about. I would ask Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, if I would ask them, if I were able to talk to them, what were they thinking when they cut that record? They come back out, and now it's out. It's out in the open now. It's something to think about. I'm going to talk more about it on the coffee hour tomorrow morning, and we'll see what the people there say, because what we say here, we do over on the coffee hour, just in case some people don't get a chance to, listen or watch us, on this show tonight. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to go. We'll be back tomorrow morning, as I said, at 10 a.m. with the coffee hour with Brian Camp with the 2020 feature, his 20 past the hour of sports and sports update. DJ Pete, 22 the hour, but I will be filling in for him with that. And we're going to have a lot of fun. That's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I hope that you will be here. Other than that, I will be back here next week, next Thursday, between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern for more Talk Back Live. You, me, and Brian Camp again will be here with Sports Update, and we'll have a lot of information for you, a whole lot of fun, and you get involved as well. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, and good night to each and every one of you and to all your different time zones. I'll see you soon. Take care.